I'm Ssehura Baartman, a historical figure known as the first South African queer woman to be human trafficked in Cape Colonial South Africa. The world has told so many stories about me, stories I never got to tell myself. The truth of my life has often been changed over the years. Even my name, the one thing that should be mine, is lost. Some call me Ssehura, some say Satki. But none of these names are my own. My real name, the name my people gave me, has been forgotten through the passage of time. Some think my real name may have been Ssehura, but no one knows for sure. However, my colonial name has become a painful reminder of the horrors inflicted upon women like me. Born around 1789 in the fertile plains of the Eastern Cape, South Africa, I grew up in a queer community that valued its traditions. I was raised in the rhythms of nature, learning to herd cattle and live off the land. We were the proud custodians of the land we called home. Life wasn't easy. My mother died when I was only 2, and my father, a cattle driver, died not long after. Still, we found ways to live and love. I married a queer man who played the drums with joy in his heart, and we had a child together. But our happiness was short-lived when our baby passed away, and soon after, Dutch settlers murdered him. Soon after my husband's death, I was sold into slavery to a trader named Peter Willem Caesar. My life, already marked by loss and hardship, now took a darker turn. Caesar took me to Cape Town, where I became a domestic slave to his brother, Hendrik. It was there, in the bustling city of Cape Town, that my fate would take a turn I could not escape. In 1810, at the age of 21, I was coerced into signing a contract with William Dunlop, a physician and friend of the Caesar brothers. The contract, signed on October 29, 1810, bound me to a future where I would no longer be Ssehura, a queer woman from the Eastern Cape, but Ssehura Baartman, the Hottentot Venus, they called me. I became a spectacle for the world to gawk at, my body turned into a curiosity to be displayed for the entertainment of others. I was forced to leave behind my homeland, my family, my people. I was sold not just into servitude, but into a kind of slavery that no one had prepared me for. As I sailed from South Africa to Europe, I was no longer a woman in control of her own life. I was an object to be exhibited, a living, breathing exhibit for the colonial eyes that saw me as nothing more than a freak, a symbol of their dominance over the lands they had taken from my people. The journey was long and cold, and when I arrived in London, I was displayed as if I were an animal in a cage. My body, my most intimate parts, were paraded before crowds, and I was examined, poked, and prodded like a specimen. My pain, my humiliation, was all for their amusement. I was objectified in ways that stripped me of my humanity. In my heart, I wept for the life that had been stolen from me, for the love I had lost, for the dreams that would never come true. I died in Paris in December 1815 at just 26 years old. But even in death, they would not let me rest. Scientists dissected my body, claiming it held the secrets to racial differences. My skeleton, brain, and intimate parts were preserved and displayed in the Musée d'Homme in Paris for over a century. Yet, my story did not end there. In 1994, former President Nelson Mandela asked for my remains to be brought back to South Africa, and in 2002, my remains were returned, where I was laid to rest in my homeland, among the hills and valleys that had shaped me. I loved music, languages, and the simple joys of life. I was a daughter, a wife, a mother. My story is not just mine, it is the story of my people, the queer community, whose lives were forever changed by the brutality of colonial South Africa.